Yo guys, it's Matty K here, and I'm gonna talk about today. This is gonna be super important. Why it is so easy to become successful in life, but why so few people actually do it. And I'm gonna break this down in massive detail because you're probably thinking right now, it's not easy to get to be successful. There's so few people, out of all the people that I know that are actually successful. It can't just be easy. I know people that have worked for 30, 40, 50 years and finally they become, successful. And I'm going to actually break down why it's not hard to be successful. I'm going to break down my own personal experience, when I've implemented a few different things into my life, how my level of success and the job I'm working at and even looking at opening my own company has just kind of accelerated in the last 3-4 months. So I'm going to give you the alpha in this video. And the first thing that I want you to think about is just kind of the average person and how they spend their day-to-day lives. So I want you guys to audit this with me. So the average person, they wake up out of bed. What do? They maybe eat some breakfast, and unlikely to be a super healthy breakfast. Either it's cereal or maybe it's like, bacon and eggs. Whatever it is for breakfast, it's usually not a high performance breakfast. Then people will go to work, usually guzzling coffee, which, by the way, coffee, it dampens your neural pathways in the brain, or I don't know the exact science behind it, but you guys all know the gist. When you drink a lot of caffeine, it actually, it suppresses you. It makes you groggy when you wake up in the morning. You need more of it just to feel even normal. It gives you jitters. It's kind of like a big societal, in my opinion, a big societal scam. And by the way, I've been a coffee drinker most of my life. I've only just stopped drinking coffee about 3-4 weeks ago. Feel amazing. So most people will guzzle coffee and then they'll go to work. Usually they'll drive in traffic. When they're driving to work, they'll usually be listening to either the radio or they'll be listening to some kind of music. So they'll get to work, they'll do whatever their job is. Usually it might be a 9 to 5 or whatever it is. They'll just go about their day, lunch break, they'll go have lunch, maybe they'll gossip, maybe they'll go on their phone, whatever. Come home, drive home, listen to music or the radio, go home, have dinner, usually not like a super healthy dinner, watch TV, go to bed, maybe at a good time, maybe not. Maybe get average quality sleep, and maybe they have a drink at night as well, and then wake up the next day, do it again. So this is kind of what the average person's day, at least as from my perception, from the way I look at it, is kind of how people spend their time. But if you want to be successful, all you have to do to get ahead of 99% of people is just make a few small tweaks in that day-to-day routine. So maybe, for example, you wake up a little bit earlier, and now you have a little bit extra time. We have a little bit more energy in the morning. And with that time, there's literally so many things you can do. You're going to have to audit it, but you can read an educational book for an hour. That's going to give you more knowledge that you can then use in your day-to-day life to help you get ahead. You could work on building a business. You could, go to the gym and work on your fitness and your health. You could eat a really healthy breakfast. There's a lot of things that you could be doing in your spare time if you actually make time for it to actually help get you ahead in life. When you drive to work, instead of listening to music, you could be listening to an audiobook, or you could be listening to an educational video like this one. So you always have to be auditing how you're spending your time and what are you getting out of it. If you have to drive to work, then at least find a way to actually get something out of it. When you're at work, if your job is not currently providing you with any skills, either look to get out of it or think, is there a way I could pop in a headphone so I could listen to audiobooks while I work? Or, what can I actually gain while I'm spending the hours doing this job, apart from just the wage that I'm making, which likely isn't that much. So the job that I have, it's a sales job. So I actually gain a lot of personal growth from it, along with the commission and the money I make. So when I'm out selling, I'm giving it my absolute everything. I'm working on my sales. I'm working on different sales techniques. I'm trying to keep my state positive. I'm training all these different skills every single day when I'm selling. So I'm actually gaining something from it. If you're in a customer service role, maybe you could just train the muscle when you're working of trying to be fully positive the entire shift and not let any bad customer interaction phase you at all. And if you can develop that skill set, then that's going to be a very powerful skill set that could take you forward in life. Or it could be just like being fully focused the whole time. If you like have some kind of academic work, try and train your focus muscles. So focus for 2 hours straight, 3 hours straight, and see how much you can actually stretch your brain. When you're spending your time, you always have to be figuring out what can you gain from this time, rather than just drifting through the day and another day goes by and you're not moving forward at all. So this is the key. You need to be always auditing your time and figuring out what you're gaining from it. And if you're not gaining anything from your time, then you're not moving forward, and that means you're stuck, and that means you're not going to get to a more elevated life situation that you possibly are trying to get to. So you always have to audit everything. So you finish your day at work, you've come home, are you going to eat a really nutritious dinner maybe? That's going to help give you more energy. When you eat a really healthy diet, that's going to give you a little bit more mental power. It's going to give you a little bit more energy to actually maybe after work, you can read a book for an hour, or you could work on a business for a couple of hours, or you could go to the gym, you could do like sauna cold plunge, you could do some meditation to help train your mind. You have to write out a plan. The reason the last few months I've got ahead in my sales commission job is because I'm very, very strategic with my time. I know when I'm going out and I'm selling in the field. I know when I'm spending time and I'm reading educational books, I'm reading like sales books or just mindset, personal development books. I know when I'm spending time learning from people. I'm spending my time very, very strategically, and there's very little time where I'm not actually, unless I just want to have the occasional time where I just chill and relax. My time is used very strategically, and it's all with the goal in mind, the end goal in mind, which is open up my own marketing company, and now it's building this personal brand. So you always have to think, what else could I be doing with this time? If you're sitting down in front of the TV, what else could you be doing with that time? Could you be reading that book? Could you be rejuvenating yourself? Like, I go to the sauna cold plunge very, very regularly, because I know if I go to the sauna and the cold plunge, it's going to make me feel really good, like really energized. It's great for the mind, and that's going to actually give me more energy to where I can go and work harder the following day. So it's all about auditing. It's all about strategy. Life is literally, I've said it before, it's like a video game. Like, you have your levels of energy, you have your levels of like mental sharpness, you have your levels of like knowledge and applied knowledge and experience, and you should always be looking to level up your character, because the higher and the greater that your character becomes in terms of its level, then the more you're able to achieve. It is literally in a direct proportion. So you should always be thinking every single day, how can I grow? How can I evolve? How can I level up my character? And when you think like this day after day, you not only just get better every single day, but it actually creates a compounding effect. So for example, I could read a book for an hour tonight before I go to bed. And maybe like the knowledge I gain helps me just a tiny bit in life. But then I read another book, and I read another book, and I read another book, and all of a sudden, over the course of a year, maybe I've read a book a week and I've read 52 books. And then maybe some of these ideas are starting to really click in, as some of the books have different ideas that have made me ponder over, and they've related back to other books, and now everything's starting to make sense, and now I'm applying it to real world situations that I've been in, all the knowledge that I've read in these books, and I'm actually applying it into my practical day-to-day life, and now I'm getting massive results from it. So the first book I read, maybe it makes like the tiniest dent, the tiniest impact in my life, and then all of a sudden the curve and the improvement could go like that. You start eating healthy food, and to start with, maybe you feel a little bit better. It's nothing crazy, but then all of a sudden, like, your hormones start to get regulated, and like your stress levels go down, and just you start sleeping better, and all of a sudden you just start feeling really, really good, really, really mentally sharp, and then you start adding extra supplements into it as well. You start reading, because you're sharper, you can read more books about health and learn more about it. You know exactly what to eat, when to eat, all that kind of stuff, and then your energy levels just go up and up and up. And then you can make more money, which you can invest more money into your health. Maybe you buy a sauna cold plunge membership or just a gym membership, things like that. So when you think about life in terms of like auditing your time, auditing how you're spending your resources, like, are you spending your money on drugs and alcohol, or like sauna cold plunge and like organic food and supplements? Are you spending your money on Netflix or like educational books? Are you like spending money on like concerts and travel, or you spend your money on like networking events and like mentorship, and maybe you're going overseas for different like conferences? So there's two ways of looking at it. And look, I've got nothing against if you want to have a good time. Like you want to go out, have a drink, you want to go on a vacation. Like that stuff that's great. Like I have nothing against that at all. But you have to do an audit. Like if you're going out and you decide I'm going to go out for a drink on a Friday night, Saturday night, there's nothing wrong with that. But you have to align that with how that actually fits into your vision. And if you think you can easily afford to do that, then go ahead. Me personally, I don't drink, I don't do drugs, don't do caffeine, I barely eat bad food. I'm literally just trying to align everything that I can to go in the right direction. The one bad habit I probably have right now is occasionally I watch a little bit of like junk YouTube. That's like the one bad habit. I'm a lot better than I used to be. I used to binge watch that stuff for hours, just random like funny, cool, I don't know, just like big influencers on YouTube. I'm way better at that now. Occasionally I still just go on a bit of a YouTube binge, but I've dialed that in a lot. And if I want to do that occasionally, like it's not the end of the world. I'm still progressing at a massive rate. And it's good to have like the odd vice, bro. Like to be honest, like it's okay if you want to watch a bit of YouTube. Like I watch the odd sport game, like the odd rugby game on TV. I actually think it's okay to have a vice. Like sometimes I'll eat like a big smoothie, but I'll still eat like organic ingredients. I'll put like some dark chocolate in there and like some just organic bananas, like organic blueberries, and it'll just be like a really high calorie meal, but it's all like organic ingredients. So like it's still great. It's still like amazing for your health, just like a bit high calories. But if you're gonna have a vice, like that's a good vice to have. So think about your vices as well, and think about if they're like detrimental. Like obviously you don't want to be doing hard drugs or anything, but if you got like a slightly high caloric smoothie that you like to eat, then you know that's not the end of the world. If you like to watch the odd sport game here and there, it's not the end of the world. But definitely audit everything. That is the moral of this video. If you want to be successful, all you have to do, which is what 99% of people don't do, is audit your entire life, how you spend your time and how you spend your resources, and figure out, is the way you're spending your time and resources going towards the goals that you have, or is it not? And if it's not, which likely it's not right now, how can you change that? What can you do? So that pretty much wraps this up. If you want to be successful, it is dead simple. It is so easy like that. I hope you guys, after this video, get your journal out, write down some ideas. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one.